All right. Welcome. Happy Thursday. Today, April 10th. Wow, time's going by so fast. But today we're leaning in to talk about big themes that are coming into our work and into my life. Themes that have happened really, I've talked about it a lot across my whole life, and that's feeling safe and all the ways that creeps up this fear of safety, this fear of inability to keep myself safe. And that's what I want to lean in and talk to today, because every single one of the clients that I've worked with this week has all been that theme. And actually, as I talked to Nedra, a lot of things actually boil down to a root cause of fear and safety and protection. So what do you think about that?
Absolutely. Like, what we need to start leaning into is finding that safety in being who we are, like authentically who we are. And gosh, many of us have carried patterns for so long, we don't even know what that might feel like, because we're taught to be a certain way or to show up a certain way, or we start those patterns. But I guess I want everyone to kind of lean into, what would that feel like to be safe, expressing myself just authentically. Like, I remember I used to be jealous of people, the people that would just say whatever they wanted to say and they get away with it. I'd be like, who gets to do that? Well, we can do that. It's just that we hold ourselves back, and we don't have to do it in a loud, obnoxious way. But think about just being able to express who you are. And honestly, that's what I bring my clients to. Like, I work with the entrepreneurs. When you can tap into who you are and what makes you unique and your special gifts, and you come from that space, the rest of it's easy. The hard part's getting into that space sometimes, because what are we supposed to be doing? How am I supposed to show up? So, I mean, I think if we boil it down, that's what we're boiling it down to. Is it safe to be seen for who we really are? Is it safe to be heard and express ourselves? That's what I think the work really comes down to.
Yeah. And like, what does that look like? Well, what I've learned in leaning into this energy work and working on my nervous system is that I was in a almost constant state of fight, flight, freeze, fawn my whole entire life. So I would easily startle. A little thing would come up and I would scream and jump. I was so jumpy because I was, not that I knew it, but my body, my system was always on guard. And then also, like, we talk about the elephant in the room or walking around on eggshells. It's like, that was a normal state for me. What do other people think? What should I say? How should I show up? And tiptoeing around that because I wanted to be loved and seen and appreciated. And then also, life is so stressful. So when your stress level and your overwhelm and your nervous system is so ramped up and high, little things will come in that can just set you off or make you want to run and hide.
So this is interesting. We kind of talked about this last week, but one of my biggest patterns was controlling. I mean, we've talked about that too, the masculine energy, but that was a way to protect myself and feel safe. Like, when people are control freaks, like I was, like, you want things to be a certain way, you're trying to control the outcome. That's because there's an underlying fear. So again, it's all about safety. But until I worked with the nervous system myself and actually retrained it to get back into neutral, the healthy neutral state, because I also was in fight or flight, I didn't even realize I was an anxious person, but there was always this underlying anxiety that I was dealing with. And it becomes so normal. I can think this is what I would really want people to let this sink in. You only know what you know. So until you experience a different level of calm, of safety, of freedom to express yourself, to be yourself, to show up, you don't even realize how much energy that you're exerting just in kind of like functioning through the day. And as I worked with my nervous system, so that we've talked about that. And that's why Tammy and I both teach this method, silent counseling, that addresses the nervous system. Because it blends beautifully with other modalities and with the energy healing, because the nervous system can really hold on to things and interfere with all the other work that's being done. So it's a great standalone method, and it's perfect to complement other modalities. And that's what led me to using silent counseling and then becoming a teacher, is because I think it's that profound.
Yeah.
So to help retrain the nervous system and help bring it back into that state of the neutral.
And this is a daily practice. That what I love about silent counseling is it equips you with the tools that you can do anywhere for any length of time. It can be shorter, or if you have more time, you can spend more time with it. They are your body, your breath, your hands, and your body that you take everywhere with you. It's an empowerment to say, I can regulate my system, because humans have lost the ability to do that. We haven't been given permission to do that, but other animals do. When you watch and see an animal get into a stressful situation, they'll shake themselves off. They wash off what just happened, and then they settle in and they go about their business. Humans hold on to stuff if we don't know how to process it, and we go over it and over it and over it in our heads, and it just piles and piles and piles and piles up until you blow or something happens, and still you're just blowing off that top level steam. You're not getting to that root cause.
Yeah. So when your nervous system is in balance, when it's I call it neutral, but when it's working properly, when it's calm, you're in homeostasis. That's when your body can actually heal itself. So you're talking about being in this chronic fight or flight, and this your nervous system being overwhelmed chronically. Just think about your physical health for a moment, let alone your mental health or your emotional state. But if your body isn't in homeostasis and doesn't have the resources to then put towards your body's healing, there can be all kinds of physical issues that start to arise. So there's a simple technique that we learn in silent counseling to bring the nervous system back into the calm state, kind of to reset it, to calm it down, and the emotions. That tool alone, that one tool alone, is life-changing.
Yeah.
So I always give that to my clients to do 3 times a day. And I have a client that's in my program right now so when you learn muscle testing, it can be difficult to muscle test if you're constantly in that nervous system response, if it's overwhelmed or fight or flight. And so she's struggling with getting that technique down. She's gone through the training, but it's this collarbone breathing to be done 3 times a day for however long it takes, 3 or 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. You're retraining your nervous system to be calm. And you can't do that with your mind. It's a physical working with the meridians that helps to calm the nervous system. I know Tammy and I both, you can reach out to either one of us. I have a video I'd be happy to send you. I'm sure Tammy's got a video that with this technique. And then for the first time, that's what I love to do with people, is do collarbone breathing. I'm like, just pay attention to how you feel.
That's right.
And at the end, you're like, this is a new level of calm that I've never felt before. And if it doesn't last, that just means, okay, you got to go back. You're retraining. Imagine a lifetime of being overactive, your nervous system, that heightened response. It's going to take a minute to train it to, okay, you're okay. You can calm down. You're not in danger. Calm down, calm down. So it's through that repetition, but it's really a beautiful experience.
Oh, yeah. And again, it's a practice, it's a lifestyle. It's a way to empower us to regulate our system, to not get overwhelmed, to stay grounded and centered in that moment. And when we operate in that way, our relationships can be beautiful. We can agree to disagree and not take things personally, show up in our highest and best in our work. It's so empowering.
So I think what most people don't know is when you're in that fight or flight state, you're in a condition called psychological reversal, which in essence is it's self-sabotage. So you're having the thoughts that go against what you really want to do, what you really want, maybe negative self-talk, your balance can even be off. There's all of these things that can be happening. And when you're in that chronic state, your energy is just not aligned to really move towards what you want. And we've been talking about it. I feel like we should just do it.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
it.
Do you want to lead it?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So collarbone breathing is using your two fingertips and pressing them onto your collarbone where you feel those nodules on your bone. Right there in front is where we're going to be holding onto. And it's a process. So it takes a few minutes and it's going to take some time to explain it. But we start on our right side. So I'm going to be mirrored in the video, but you start with your right two fingers on your right side of your collarbone. Close your eyes if that feels safe and comfortable for you. And then you're breathing in deeply, filling up all the way to the top and expanding out your belly all the way. Because when you do that, it's letting your body know that you're safe. When you're being chased by a tiger, nobody breathes that deeply. And then also, yeah, thank you. Also, you're holding on to this spot, your stress spot on the back of your hand. So holding onto your collarbone, holding onto your spot, and taking a deep breath in all the way and holding it at the top. And then releasing halfway, holding. Releasing all the way, holding. Coming back in halfway, hold, and out. Now we switch, keeping this spot. Switch right fingertips to the left and redoing, cycling all the way back up to the top, expanding out your belly, holding, out halfway, hold, all the way out, hold. In halfway, hold, and out. Now we're going to use the tips of our knuckles, still holding the stress spot, holding our knuckles to that spot on our collarbone and repeating the breaths. In all the way, hold. Out halfway, hold. All the way out. Hold. In halfway and out.
I just want to reiterate to everyone, breathing in through the nose and it's out through the mouth.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yes. And then switching it to right side to the left collarbone and repeating. In all the way. Out halfway. Out all the way. In halfway and out. Halfway there. Now we switch hands.
So if you guys are doing it, I can start to feel the difference. Mm-hmm. Even if you're in polarity and your energy's flowing, this is going to increase the proper flow of energy. I love it.
Mm-hmm. So now left hand, holding on to that stress spot, fingertips left to left. Breathing in all the way through the nose. Holding out halfway. Hold all the way out. In halfway and out. Taking those fingertips and moving them over to the left to right. In all the way, hold. Out halfway. All the way. In halfway. And out. Now we go to our knuckles. Holding that spot, knuckles to the collarbone. In all the way, expand out that belly. Out halfway, hold, all the way out. Hold. In halfway, out. Over to the right side. In all the way, hold. Out halfway, hold. Out all the way. In halfway. And out. Taking a cleansing breath in through the nose. Out through the mouth. I mean, my shoulders relax. I feel an expansion in my energy. I feel calmness washing over me. When we are regulated in our nervous system, we can be connected to who we truly are. I am empowered. I am safe. I have control of my choices. I have choice.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So just notice, everyone, how you feel. Like that's right there. If someone has chronic anxiety or any chronic mental patterns or physical conditions, they would benefit from doing this 3 times a day. So you could reach out to Tammy, you can reach out to myself. And I know, I'm sure I speak for Tammy too. We'd rather have you have this tool in your hand for yourself to experience this level of peace and connection with yourself. But so in business, we're business owners, people that are listening, I'm sure, healers, wellness leaders, entrepreneurs. We are busy. We have lots to do. There's a lot on our plates. We're growing, we're pushing our comfort zones, we're expanding. And any time that you're in that type of growth, you're going to hit the inner resistance. Like as you elevate yourself and you reach towards your goals, it's just like, when you're in your life and you recognize you have toxic people in your life, and if you want to move forward, you realize like these toxic people aren't helping me, it's actually holding me back. Your emotions, which you may or may not be aware of, it's the same. So as you're striving to be better, it's like these emotions and beliefs that you're carrying inside of you aren't in alignment with this new way of being, but they're going to come up. So I feel like the people that are in the growth mode, that are really reaching and striving for new levels, experience a lot more of that resistance, is just what I like to call it, like feeling like I can't do this, whether it's imposter syndrome or fear is coming up. But we can work with the nervous system to actually release those feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So we use a tremendous amount of energy to manage, like when I was talking about the being in control and trying to control all the situations because it comes from fear. We use a tremendous amount of energy to manage the fear and to contain that. And we create our lives around it to make ourselves feel as comfortable as we can. But just imagine being able to release that fear. You can feel it. You may not know what it's about. It may present as imposter syndrome, but really it's something else. It's just a feeling that you feel. We can actually release that. And now that energy that was once used to contain that, you can embody more of who you truly are, your truth, your magic, to follow your path. And that's when it becomes more and more effortless. We freed up the energy to be who we are and to move forward. To me, that's by far the easiest way. I know people will bulldoze through, white knuckle it, use willpower. The mindset work is important. It's really important to reframe how you look at things. But when you have a scary emotion that does a sneak attack, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm not going to do that.
Mhm.
Emotions are stronger than the
Yeah.
thoughts. So
Mhm.
they really do rule us. So if you feel like you're being ruled by your emotions, if you're living in a reactionary world rather than an intentional space of what you want, it's so much easier just to release
Yeah.
that from the nervous system, and it just frees up so much energy.
Yeah. It's leaking your energy. And for me, I mean, yeah, you can lace up your bootstraps and plow through walls. It's exhausting. And it honestly, like, it's such an awful feeling. And to me, they're mutually exclusive feelings. Like, for me to fully believe in myself and trust in myself into making those decisions to go into and innovate and go into unknown territory that you do as you're stepping into your calling while having these fears. So for me, these practices have been a lifeline for me personally, for my relationships and for my business. Because I feel that, like, what percentage of businesses fail? Like 50%?
It's huge.
It's
I think
huge.
it's more. We're gonna have to Google that, but it's
It's huge. And this is why. Because you're like, it's not sustainable to be plowing through. I say it's like arm wrestling with the Hulk. Your emotions and your body is going to win every time. Your mind, you can think and reframe all you want. That also leaks energy to constantly be reframing. But ultimately, the body creates scenarios, creates storylines in your head that makes you feel that, you know what, this is too hard. I need to quit, or I should be doing something else. And it will find a way to keep you safe when really you are safe, right? You're innovating, you're going into new territory, and you're safe. But it takes this work to regulate all of these trapped feelings inside of our bodies that are not logical.
I want to wrap this up with the theme that's been coming through with my clients this last week, which was actually, I think, what we're seeing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and people, I'm just going to put this out there, and people are going to go, what? The less you do, the more you'll receive.
Mm-hmm.
That only happens when you're tapping into your true essence. And that is when it becomes easy and effortless. Like when you're really tapped into, so when I work with my entrepreneurs, it's really important to become authentic, and we really have to tap into what are our signature strengths and our unique brilliance. We each have it, but it's a combination of everything that you've been through, all your struggles, what you've overcome, your transformation, your healing journey, the skills
Mm-hmm.
that you've learned, and also the things that come to you naturally. And we always overlook those things that come easy. We don't value it because it comes easy. This is what we need to lose, is that belief that we have to work hard to get something of value. But once we're tapped into that energy and we're really connected with our true self and what makes us different and unique, then our message and what we do all becomes effortless, because we are the message, sharing what we've learned and our experiences and the ups and the downs. Um, and that's when we tap into that, that's what's easy and effortless.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've spent years doing it the hard way and doing the grind and using the male energy of what do we have to do and trying to figure things out. I'm telling you all, that's the hard way to do it. So I have a decade of experience in healing and more than a decade as an entrepreneur. So I understand those specific challenges and the healing. I really love when I get people that are new entrepreneurs. I'm like, I can save you
Yeah.
years of struggle and frustration. And just think about the people that did bow out
Mm-hmm.
because it got too hard and they're in a job that they hate. So I think I speak for Tammy and I when we say we work with people that feel called to make an impact somehow in the world. And, you know, if you feel that calling, but you don't have any idea how to do it, reach out to Tammy or me. And we definitely would be very happy to help you with that.
Yeah, because it's possible. And the way that you feel is meant to go through and learn from and process. It's not meant to be here forever. And our deepest lessons, we need support and help with, including me. So this can help regulate. You can regulate this on the day-to-day on your own, and we can do deep work together.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So if you feel called to go deeper into your purpose, we're here. And I hope that you found some helpful nuggets from our conversation today. So Tammy, it's always a pleasure.
Yes.
To get together.
Yes. Thank you so much. And I will see you next week. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend.